Hello my dear friends, and welcome back to another Star Wars video. It is I coming at you once again, your favourite galactic hostess, Star Wars Meg. And today we're continuing our discussion of the brand new animated Star Wars show coming on May the 4th, Tales of the Underworld. The third installment of the Tales of anthology series for Disney+. And there's been a lot of discussion overnight. Yesterday, I posted my breakdown. We talked about the implications for Asajj Ventress and Cad Bane. But today, I want to focus on the identity of this character, who StarWars.com says is an abandoned Padawan who survived Order 66. As a result of this information, plenty of theories have been making the rounds. Some of them make sense, and as is the case with a lot of fan theories, many of them just don't, and to my mind are pretty illogical, so let's talk about them. This is a character who Asajj Ventress comes across. She helps him fight the Inquisitor who is after them. And I presume, and this is just my assumption, she's gonna train him and maybe become his new master. But two massive questions. Who trained this kid during the Clone Wars and what is his name? And just thinking back over recent years where Lucasfilm introduced a brand new character and suddenly fans mistakenly think it's someone we know, either older or younger, I think this Padawan is a brand new character. There are theories out there stating this is a young Baylan, or a younger version of Jod Na Nawood. This character doesn't look anything like them. The hair colour, the tone of skin, the facial features, nothing matches. Especially for Baylan. By the time of Order 66, he was a Jedi General, not a Padawan. And as for Jod, we know from the actress, who was cut from Skeleton Crew, that the woman who trained him after Order 66 was not Asajj Ventress. So no, I don't think it's either of those. A more likely theory, but one which I also don't think is the case, is that this Padawan is Petro from the Clone Wars Season 5. We never found out what happened to him, and Tales of the Underworld would be a fantastic place to bring him back. However, my dear friends, the new character has a very distinctive design, one which is very different to Petro, especially the eyes, and I am taking into consideration the different styles of animation. Tales of the Underworld, very similar to Tales of the Empire, is slightly different, dare I say, a bit smoother than the Clone Wars and the Bad Batch. Also guys, another reason I don't think it's Petro is the amazing voice actor Jeff Fisher is not listed as part of the cast. And Jeff is someone who said for many years he wants to come back, so I don't think this is him. This is going to be a new Padawan, and I guess in this instance, making such connections is a bit redundant, as fun as theorizing is. But we've been let down so many times in the past. It reminds me of the ridiculous theory when fans were saying that Omega and Shin were somehow the same person. So my answer is no. I don't think this character is Baylan, I don't think it's Jod, and I don't think it's Petro. One final theory I want to talk about, and even though it's a bit more strange, considering Asajj's connections to the Jedi path through Quinlan Vos, is it possible this is Corran Horn? Originally from the expanded universe, but brought into canon in the strangest cameo in Obi-Wan Kenobi Episode 2. Is it possible Asajj is protecting him to bring him to Quinlan? Another hint from the trailer they are making a connection to Obi-Wan is we see a planet that looks a lot like Daiyu. Is Asajj following breadcrumbs, trying to find the path, and she finds evidence of their escape from Daiyu? Is she protecting Corran? What happened to his mum? And maybe, my dear friends, that is where they confront the Inquisitor. If they decide to do this, I'm really happy this wasn't set up for nothing. And I can imagine, after her revival, she's trying to get back in touch with Quinlan and joins the effort to smuggle 4 sensitive children to safety. This opens the door for other Jedi survivors. Could Asajj be in touch with Keller and Beck? Just some food for thought. To my mind, this is a way more probable theory than some of the others, but I still speculate this is a brand new character we've never seen before. And staying on the subject of Tales of the Underworld, did you know it's written by Matt Miknovets, who once worked on Star Wars 1313, the cancelled Underworld video game? And as I stated in my trailer breakdown, it means we might see someone like Boba Fett, even if it's in a flashback. I want to see the unfinished Clone Wars duel between Boba and Cad Bane. We might see it, fingers crossed. And it got me thinking, the people who first told us there was going to be a Tales of the Underworld is Star Wars Sessions podcast. They were told it was Tales of the Bounty Hunters, and considering both Asajj and Cad Bane are bounty hunters during this time, it reasons that what was going to be Tales of the Bounty Hunters is Tales of the Underworld. However, they also said there's going to be a Tales of the Sith. So in theorizing we might see a young Baylan, I don't think it's going to be an Underworld, it might be in Tales of the Sith. And I know he's not a Sith, but there have been long-standing rumours that they are going to explore Baylan in animation. And even though he's not strictly Sith, he's something like a dark Jedi. To a normie fan, a casual fan watching the Ahsoka show for the first time, you see the red/orange lightsaber and you think dark side. You know he's not a Sith. But like I say, to your average casual fan, he is Sith adjacent. Lucasfilm describes him as a fallen Jedi. So if they do Tales of the Sith, I'd expect a Baylan backstory there. And like I say guys, there are rumours that is going to happen. I don't know for certain if they're going to announce this at Star Wars Celebration, but I imagine that's going to be the case. But with all of the anticipation, there has simultaneously been a lot of backlash, a lot of fan criticism for various reasons. One thing I want to talk about, which I've seen being mentioned across social media, is the animation style. Many are not vibing with the way Cad Bane looks. He's a Duras, but some people think he looks too much like a Mune. Others pointed out they did something very similar in Tales of the Jedi, how Yaddle, despite being the same species as Yoda, was given a very different overall design. I mean, yes, they're different characters, and obviously within a species there will be variation, but fans pointed out Lucasfilm may have been a bit lazy, recycling Yoda's Clone Wars look, whereas Yaddle looked very different. I guess Yaddle wasn't in the Clone Wars because she's dead by then, but I do see the point fans who are saying this are trying to make. I think it's very similar to the criticisms fans had about Star Wars Rebels, and the way that looks. As much as fans have come around with Rebels, and these days it's very highly praised, when it first came out it got roasted. Fans were saying it looks so cartoonish, why do the lightsabers look so thin? The budget is so tiny, why does it look so bad? I personally love the aesthetic, but it received a lot of criticism from Clone Wars fans for looking less angular and less dramatic. The colour palette is very different, it has a cleaner look, and for some, it made it look too soft. So much so that I've seen comments of fans saying they'll never watch Star Wars Rebels because it doesn't look like it's for them. There is this false perception Rebels isn't as serious, and that's not true. I'm telling you guys, if you can look past the animation style, the story is the best of Star Wars animation, hands down. I know Tales of the Underworld hasn't come out yet, but I doubt it's gonna come close to Star Wars Rebels. And I guess it's a good way to differentiate the different shows. But it is true, whether it's Tales of the Jedi, Tales of the Empire, Tales of the Underworld, the design is less stylized. And in terms of character motion, it's much smoother, has less ragged edges. I think the animated side is doing way more exciting things than live action, just in general. Although another criticism I've been seeing is that once again with Tales of the Underworld, Lucasfilm is lacking in originality, rehashing familiar bounty hunters, and returning to the dark times. Not to mention, another Inquisitor we'll likely never see again. That point is definitely valid, but I'll wait till the show is out, see what they do with these characters, see if it leads to something bigger, if there are wider implications for another full-length animated series, before I fully judge and completely write the show off. I'm still very excited. I love the dark times. But yes, I get the frustration. Another Jedi survivor. I'm keeping my fingers crossed for Star Wars Celebration we get something animated that has no connections to the Clone Wars, the Dark Times, or the prequel trilogy, even though that is my favourite time period, it's been done to death. How about a Mandoverse era show? Or maybe even animated post-episode 9? Something different, something new. But what do you guys think? This is our treat for May the 4th. 6 animated shorts, Tales of the Underworld. Are you excited? Do you think this character is someone we know? Or is it a brand new Jedi Padawan? Share your thoughts down below. If you enjoyed this video, my dear friends, please be sure to give me a big fat thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, check me out on socials, and may the Force be with you, always.